Gavin and Stacey. DVD preview. 1. Work in pairs. Answer the questions. 1. Do you enjoy watching comedy programs? Why not? 2. Which ones are popular in your country? 3. Which comedy programs do you enjoy watching? 2. Read about the program. What type of things do you think Gavin needs to learn on his first day at work? Who do you think he will meet? Gavin needs to learn his colleagues' names, how to use the telephone computer system, where the toilets are, who his boss is, etc. He will probably meet his colleagues and his boss. Gavin and Stacey. Gavin and Stacey is a BBC program about a young couple. Gavin comes from Essex, near London, and Stacey comes from Cardiff, Wales. After a long-distance relationship, conducted online and by telephone, they eventually get married and Gavin moves to Wales. In this episode, Gavin starts a new job. On his first day, his family want him to do well and be happy at work. DVD view. 3A. Watch the DVD. What is the main problem Gavin has during his first day at work? Gavin's main problem is that while he is with his new boss, all his family keep contacting him to wish him good luck. B. Match DVD extracts 1 to 5 to the correct responses. A. E. 1. Mr. Davies, good to see you again. B. Please, call me Hugh. 2. Did you get your welcome pack? D. Yeah, I think so. 3. Ready when you are. E. Okay, let's show you around. For now, here's somebody you've not met yet. C. Hi. Nice to meet you. 5. Parcel for you. A. Oh, thanks. 4A. Answer the questions. 1. What does Hugh, the boss, give Gavin? A nameplate for his door. 2. When does Gavin say he will call his mother? At lunch or after work? 3. How many phone calls does Gavin receive? 3. For what does Uncle Bryn bring for Gavin? A packed lunch, a lunchbox. 5. What is the message on the balloon? Who do you think sent it to him? The message on the balloon is good luck. The actual answer is that the balloon is from his wife. B. Watch the DVD again to check. C. Discuss. How do you think Gavin will feel at the end of his first day at work? Speak out a day in the life. 5A. 4.8 Listen to someone describing a typical day in her life. Do you think she likes her job?
Unit 4. Recording 8.
I'm a pharmacist, so I work 6 days a week. The pharmacy opens at 9 a.m, but I need to be at work before then so I can get everything ready. I usually wake up at about 6:30 so I can get the kids up and ready for school, and then go for a run before work. I have to leave home by 8:30 at the latest. The morning is the busiest time in the pharmacy, so the first thing I do when I get to work is start preparing prescriptions so they're ready for customers to collect. It's a community pharmacy, so I know a lot of the patients quite well. As well as giving out medicines, we try to give advice on healthy living. I think people really appreciate being able to talk to someone in the pharmacy and get advice or treatments without having to see a doctor. I usually have lunch at about 1 p.m. Sometimes I bring my own lunch, and on other days I like to leave the shop and wander around. I might buy something to eat or even try out a new cafe. The area near where I work is really nice, and I often bump into people I know. In the afternoon, I try to catch up on all the admin tasks that need doing. I check my emails and upload information to our website. I often take phone calls from receptionists, nurses, and even doctors from the local surgery, checking information about medication. I leave the shop at about 5:30 p.m, but I usually make some deliveries on my way home. Some of our older patients can't travel to the pharmacy themselves, so they rely on this service. I try to be home by about 7 o'clock, so that I have time to read to the children and put them to bed. I'm usually too exhausted to do very much in the evening, So I generally just cook supper and watch some television. And then I like to plan my next day in my head before going to bed. It's a long day, but I love my job.
She's a pharmacist and she loves her job. B. Read the key phrases below. Complete each phrase by adding one word. Key phrases. I usually wake up at about 6:30. I have to leave home by 8:30 at the latest. The first thing I do when I get to work school is, in the afternoon I try to catch up on. I usually make some deliveries, do some shopping on my way home. I try to be home by about 7 o'clock. I generally just cook supper and watch some television. C. Listen again to check. D. Prepare to tell other students about a normal day in your life. Write notes about your typical day. What do you have in common? Hours of work studying. Tasks you have to do. People you spend your day with. Problems and challenges. How you relax. The best parts of your day. Write back your daily routine. 6a. Read about a day in the life of a gym instructor. Is his daily routine similar to yours? How is it different? I work as a gym instructor in a sports center. I get up at 5 a.m. every morning and make a cup of coffee. I can't function until I've had my coffee. I drive to work. It takes about 15 minutes on a good day, usually getting there at about 5.40. The first thing I do is switch on the lights and the air conditioning if it's summer, heating if it's winter, and then the radio. We have the radio on all day because our clients like listening to the news and the music. The sports center opens at 6 a.m. I work in a team of 4, although only 2 of us are ever in the gym at the same time. The instructors all wear sports clothes. It's important to be comfortable because we sometimes need to show new clients how to use the machines. Apart from this, our other tasks are quite simple. We check that everyone has their membership card when they come in, and we check that the machines are clean and safe. I have a 1-hour break for lunch, and I usually do 2 more hours after lunch. I go home at about 2:30. The best part of the job is meeting people. Our clients range from 18-year-old bodybuilders to 80-year-olds who come to exercise and chat. I've never had any problems at the sports center. It's a really nice job, though it doesn't pay very well. In the evenings I relax by reading a book and cooking for myself, and I'm usually in bed by 9:30 p.m. Frank Carduna. B. Write about a typical day in your life using the sentence starters in bold in the text and the key phrases to help. Try to include 2 or 3 pieces of information that make your day different from everybody else's. Alternatively, look at the pictures on page 47. Imagine what a day in the life of this person would be like, and write about it. My day usually starts early, around 5:30 a.m., because I like to watch the sunrise while drinking matcha tea, something most people in my town don't do. After that, I always feed my pet parrot, Kiwi, who greets me with a loud good morning. The next thing I do is put on my running shoes and jog through the nearby forest, where I sometimes spot wild deer. Once I've finished my run, I take a cold shower to wake up completely. For breakfast, I normally eat avocado toast with chili flakes, but on Wednesdays, I bake fresh banana bread, a tradition I started with my grandma. Then it's time to head to work, where I teach robotics to kids, a job that's rare in my area. In the afternoon, I often take a break to practice playing the ukulele, which I keep in my office. My friends sometimes join me for a picnic by the river after work, where we share stories and skip stones. Before I go to bed, I usually write in my journal about 3 things that made me happy that day, a habit I've kept for 5 years.